Hello and welcome back. Um, Basically, in the previous session, we looked at how to create an organization and how to add membership to the organization. So now we do have our organization demo here. And what I want us to look at in this session is how we can create the sources and also the collection. And for sources, which we are rarely going to use in our case, is you are able to create from scratch your original content. Also, if you want to borrow maybe a concept from other organization or other sources, rather, you are able to basically use the sources to do that. So you can clone, for example, if you find a concept that is close from other sources and but it's not quite what you really want, and customize it to meet your needs. Collection is largely what we are going to be looking into, and here we are going to gather or to see how we can gather concept from one or more sources. And in this case, we are largely going to look into OCL concepts, and this is might really help us maybe in our to create the data set that we really are looking into, for example, for HIV, for MCH, for labs, for drugs, and so on. So we'll look at how to go about creating the sources. And for you to create a source, for example, you'll need to just navigate to where you can see sources here, and then you say add a source. And you need to provide details for your source, the short code, the short name that you want to have. For example, it could be for the drugs or for the labs or whatever data set that you want the source for, or might be general. And then very important is you also need to add the language that is your default, and also you can add other supported language. For example, you could add English and maybe other supported language like French and so on. In terms of configuration, we need to select here that the configuration validation schema is OpenMRS validation schema. And for the advanced setting here, it's important that you say that the ID assignment, auto assignment here, is going to use the, or rather to be assigned sequentially. So here you can see we have sequentially, and the mappings, you're going to use UUID for the mappings. External IDs, use also the UUID for each of these. So once you have all that added, and you could also also have the other settings like the prior settings, custom attribute, and so on. You click on create source, and you're going to have your source there. So this is more or less the similar step that we're going to use for in creating the correction, and we can do this so that we can see how to go about this process of creating a correction. And we are going to create a correction. For example, in our case, I would like us to use add a collection for drugs. So the short code here, and you could have one for the lab, you could have a different collection. So here I am going to give the name of my short code for the drugs as drugs demo. This is just for demo purposes. Please use the intuitive names. Drugs demo again. And the full name, I could say that this is basic drug list or just drug list. You can use the word demo. And again, you can give a description here, a starter pack for